Well, I guess philosophy, you know, I studied philosophy for years and years. I did an undergrad, and then I was working on a graduate degree before I, you know, vanished and went off to film school. Yeah. So, you know, philosophy is always something I've been always very interested in. And the idea of artificial intelligence and what the future might bring and how the future might affect morality and lawmaking was something that I was studying and found fascinating. So it certainly wasn't a conscious decision, but I can't help the fact that it probably trickled in there somewhere. Yeah, I'm terrible for that. I use emoticons all the bloody time. It's ridiculous. It's just, I think a lot of the time, you know, I'm typing away, I can't help worrying that maybe someone's going to think I'm being sarcastic or that I'm, you know, being aggressive, and I'm really not. And I always use emoticons as a shorthand to just say, yeah, just kidding, I'm just, you know, just being friendly here. But so maybe that's me being overprotective. But I love emoticons. I think it's just a really, you know, useful shorthand of expressing, you know, expressing something. Well, it was kind of cool. He knew about the project before we started shooting it, and had read the script and loved it. But obviously, it was incredibly ambitious what we wanted to achieve on an indie budget. Yeah. So he was, you know, he wanted to wait and see how it turned out, and said, you know what, I love the idea. Why don't we sort of see where you get to when you finish shooting it, and let me come back to you on that. So, you know, we were always a bit apprehensive if we were going to get him or not going to get him. But we finished shooting the film. We cut an offline cut. Sam's performance was fantastic, and even though we had temporary effects and temporary music, Kevin saw the cut and was so blown away by Sam. He said, "Yeah, I'll definitely do it." So much was dependent on, I mean, everything was kind of interdependent. So it was always a bit of a juggling act of, like, people wanted to get involved, but they wanted to see how this went first, and other people wanted to see how this bit went, what the effects were going to look like, and eventually it all kind of came together towards the end, so quite quickly. No, absolutely. He was a little uncomfortable with that, to be honest. But I think it really worked in some ways, because when I was writing the script, he was called Sam, and showed the script to Sam. Sam loved the story, was a little bit, you know, oh, does he have to be called Sam? And I said, well, look, this is all about, you know, having to deal with yourself. I mean, that's the whole basis of the film. So I think it's kind of good if you feel a little bit uncomfortable, because that's exactly what this story is gonna force you to face. We built our set at Shepperton Studios, and we made a decision early on that we wanted to create a 360-degree environment and actually build the interior of the lunar base. And that's what we did. We literally built the base and we capped it, so it was like a fully enclosed area, shooting environment, almost like going on location. And the crew and Sam and me would go in the mornings, and then they'd seal it up, and we'd be in there for the rest of the day. And obviously, even though you have a crew in there, Sam's on his own, which obviously gives him a sense of isolation, especially working as an actor, he's Meisner trained, so he's very used to having someone to bounce off of. Yeah. And for this, it was very tricky and, you know, difficult for him, but, you know, he's an amazing actor. So. Yeah.